Hi, my name is Ivars Kovalevskis and I wrote, shot and directed short film Quelled.
I'm Olivia and I play Elizabeth Costello.
My name is Colum Higgins and I play Robert.
My name is Gavin and I'm playing the part of Mrs. Davenport.
Hi, my name's Conor Sheehan and I play Keith, the detective.
My name is DeAngelo Massah and I'm playing Omar.
Quelled is a self-funded short film, 20 minutes long, and it's basically a psychological thriller, drama, crime, and the story follows detective Elizabeth. She is investigating basically deaths of young women, and the story kind of goes south for her after she finds evidence at one of the crime scenes. You know, she finds one of these kind of origamis and things kind of go south for her after that.
The most challenging part for me has been portraying Robert's disturbed nature. So I need to be able to honour that genuinely, but also then get away from it safely afterwards.
The day we shot in the forest and the rain was pretty relentless. That was tough. I mean, it was good. It's always fun when it's challenging like that. It always makes it more satisfying. It's rock and roll. You just got to suck it up. But that was a bit of a miserable day in the forest. But yeah.
Being in the rain, to be honest. I won't lie to you. The spiders on the face as well. But no, it wasn't really challenging. It was actually more fun than challenging. So no, I enjoyed myself. Yeah.
I suppose the most challenging part was to keep it the authenticity, to show, to be completely emotionless and to have no feelings towards people whatsoever, to dehumanize myself and to keep it real.
The most challenging part was to having to deliver certain emotions based on memories that are quite difficult to produce, especially when they all have happened with the character mostly. That is the most difficult part for me on set for this whole time.
So for me, the biggest challenges were, since we were basically skeleton crew, you know, it's a self-funded short film, definitely scheduling, just to get the actors on the set and also, you know, prep the sets and all that. But I mean, at the end, you know, it's a rewarding experience just to see your, script come to life, you know. So yeah, it's fun.
Beth is determined, closed off, and resilient, for sure.
Intuitive, intelligent and compassionate.
I'd say she's a very cold lady, very cold. Has a dislike for younger girls, i.e. her stepdaughter, has a jealousy for her, and she has a condescending character.
So my character in 3 words, he's shy, deep and disturbed.
I'd say scallywag, sneaky, and screw up, which is 2 words, but I suppose it's one phrase. So yeah, Keith is a screw up.
People that like thrillers, murder mysteries, not necessarily people. It's not a comedy. It's far from. So yeah, no, people that like the more moody kind of like grungy kind of type of films. So yeah,
Definitely for somebody who likes psychological dramas, where you're not too sure what's going on, and you're sort of also left at the end thinking, did that happen? Did this happen? What actually happened? You have to chew on this film really to know what's going on, and it's pretty true to life, quite realistic, rather than a horror, say. It's more a realistic type of film. So people who like realistic psychodramas will definitely like this one.
Well, I think a TV series like The Bridge and the Killing Scandi dramas and stuff like that, I think there's elements of that in it. But also anyone who watches psychological horrors like Stephen King, or the likes of TV shows like Midnight Mass, I think anyone who's into shows like that have a macabre kind of element but are also psychologically complex, I think you'll get something out of Quelled.
People who love crimes, investigation, problem solvers, people who like intrigues and very charged emotional characters, for sure, like people who like intensity.
So the kind of people who will like this film are people who like mystery procedurals, shows like Unforgotten and Department Q.
I would imagine that they would appeal somebody who's into kind of Scandinavian, noir dramas, crime series or something. I have to admit that I was influenced by, 90s X-Files, Hjortskott Swedish series, Stieg Larsson's works, like Millennium Trilogy, and Bridge as well. So somebody who likes essentially, psychological thrillers, a bit of drama, crime, something like that. Apart from Quelled, genre-wise, being a psychological thriller, the kind of themes and tones that I explored while writing this is essentially, mental health, but mainly I wanted to kind of dive in deeper in like human psyche, trauma, mainly, and how we deal with trauma. Also, the way, the story also goes, how trauma then mixes also with some messed up desires even, it's just, I'm fascinated with, human mind, human psyche, how we are capable to protect and defend ourselves from like, future-proof ourselves based on, let's say, previous kind of trauma that we had. So there's a lot of maybe food for thought about, repression and also suppression of your memories. Also, I was kind of, jumping into also confabulation. I think it's called confabulation, how we replace our memories sometimes based on experiences that we maybe had or maybe we didn't have. Overall, we're just, trying to kind of protect ourselves, from future trauma. Basically, I also invested a lot of time in creating not only the look and the mood of kind of Scandinavian crime dramas, but also I paid attention for like what kind of poster we're gonna make. Also, our little MacGuffin, if you will. I learned how to, fold these origamis as well, these little paper angels. There is a process, obviously, of research when you're making, a poster as well. And for this short film, I went through some of the films and TV series that I like, and kind of tried to capture that kind of look and feel even in the poster. So you will notice the layout as well. It kind of took an interesting kind of turn there as well. We wanted to have something darker, like a grungy kind of look, almost like an old piece of poster. There are tones of bit of red and green, as in big kind of part in this story plays also the forest. That the film was shot in Wicklow Forest as well there. My background is also in graphic design, and I know my way around, Photoshop and Illustrator. So I created also the badges for the detectives, specifically for Conor's character, Olivia's character, and obviously Omar's character as well. Little things like also coming up with the name and the logo for Carmichael's Medical Center, which is a fictional place as well, but essentially this is where Omar's character works. So I had to do a couple of sketches on the paper, obviously, at the beginning, and then you just, work in Illustrator trying to kind of come up with some decent solutions as well. So yeah, at the end, I think people were happy with the way poster came out. So yeah, I'm happy as well. So in terms of music, this time I knew that I will compose some of the stuff myself, even though I know I'm not classically trained, but like when you're trying to express yourself or your, chain of thought, let's say, in terms of describing in a musical way what the scene and what is the victim or the main character going through, I knew that I want to kind of dabble around with piano myself, but I needed help obviously from other people. So for additional soundtrack, I collaborated with Rinsler X. Like, he has a great sense of great sense and feel for the scenes as well. So he created actually something that I really like, something almost like Mark Snow would do for, Millennium Drama or the X-Files. By just using the Akai MIDI controller, I then worked on the piano pieces. It was a long and kind of painful process, let's say, also because you need to kind of get in the head of some of the characters, or even understand like how would you like to feel in this scene, by being part of all the actors there as well. My biggest kind of challenge was coming up with not the mood set for, let's say, Olivia's character Elizabeth, but let's say the opener scene where our victim is running. I just wanted to express that, in simple terms, that this woman didn't have to, go this way. She didn't have to kind of die this way, let's say. And it's a small little piece. I think it was just less than a minute, but like I love the reverb on the piano there as well. So I think I was successful in capturing that kind of mood. And then in terms of sound effects, we used singing bowls. If you ever use those, some people are frustrated that they don't know how to kind of use them as well. And I mean, if you know how to play them, it's amazing stuff. Especially it works in, let's say, intense moments where you demand audiences kind of, focus on a specific thing that's going to happen in that scene, or even give that kind of hypnotic quality as well to any of really the scenes that we had there. So it's amazing what you can do with, microphones and a couple of effects, then later like reverbs. I mean, I know I've said reverb many times, but I really love that effect. So like even, I don't know, knocking a little bit or doing like a little knocks on like tin boxes, it creates a kind of cold space in some of the scenes, cold kind of industrial space, which I would imagine essentially reveals something about the characters without even, explaining it in words or dialogue as well. So yeah, that was fun, but like it took a really long time to kind of put it all together.